Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today's tutorial we're going to experience the Modern Baby Blanket. This is a pattern by Jeannie, and now Jeannie's come up with this little idea, which is these are really quite cool, and these are just mini granny squares, and we're going to join as you go so you don't have to worry about the sewing. And then there's a beautiful border that is attached. There's also a sister project to this, and this is the Baby Lovey, and this is a smaller version of this. The squares are a smaller size compared to the others, and this allows you to drag the Lovey with you when you have to leave home when it's too inconvenient to take a whole blanket with you. So it's a great concept. So today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make one of these squares, and then I'm going to show you how to attach them. How you attach them is identical to the Lovey, and then the borders are identical on each of the projects, whether it's the Lovey or this size. So within today's tutorial I'm going to show you the concept of making the squares, attaching, and doing the border. Before we get started on today's project, we are having two different size squares depending on the project. So if you're doing the Lovey, this is the size that you're doing here, and if you're doing the baby blanket, this is the size. The only difference is that there's an extra 2 rounds. So this round of double crochet and single crochets on the outside is additional to this one here. So okay, so you see here when you go to lay it over top, it's just an extra 2 rounds. So whenever we're doing this particular project, you can go as large as you want to. Say you maybe want your squares even bigger, you just continually add to it. The outside border is unaffected by the size of these, okay, and it's also unaffected by how they come together. So if you want to do a rectangular baby blanket instead of a square, you can do so because the outside border will adapt to it without any issues at all. So within today's project I'm going to show you how to make one of these squares, and then from there we're going to show you how to join. Again, if you're working on the other size, just like you see over here, and then you just have to go an additional 2 rows in order to, or 2 rounds in order to do that. So without further ado, let's get started on learning how to do one of these squares first. So using Bernat Super Value or equivalent yarn and a 5mm size H crochet hook, I want you to start off with a slip knot for the center of your square. Insert your hook in and let's begin. So to start these ones here, you have to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and insert that hook into the beginning chain like so, and then yarning over, pulling it through and through to form the center ring of your square. These stragglers you're just gonna keep to the outside. Just keep it as if it's part of the ring, and then you can bury that in as you go in the next round. So let's begin. Let's start off by chaining 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and you have to come into the center of the ring, again keeping that straggler around the outside of that ring so you can trap it, and you want to double crochet 2 more times right into that center of that ring. So there's 4 sides to the square, so this is considered one side. So whenever we do a corner and it's double crochet related, it's always gonna be the same regardless on how big it is. It's only gonna be chaining of 1. It's gonna sound odd to you, but you need to trust in it. So coming back into the center of the ring, you're gonna put in 3 more double crochets. So if you're new to crochet, that chaining of 3 that you started with counts as one of the double crochets. So you actually have 3 double crochets per side. Okay, you can see how we're turning, and then chain up 1. That's your next corner. Coming back into the center of the ring, and you see how I'm burying that string in around the round as I go, and there will be 3 more double crochets into this side. Okay, and then chain 1. There's your next corner, and then come back in, and this is the final corner, or the final side, sorry. And I can tell that because there should be 4 groups of 3. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so chain 1, and I want you to slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3 like so. Just like that. Okay? So because you've been burying in this strand here, what you can just do is get rid of it. Just trim it out so that you don't have any loose ends hanging out, and then you can get ready for the next round. To start the next round, you're in the top of the first double crochet. You have to slip stitch to the next 2 to get yourself to the next chain 1 space right where I'm pinching, right over here. So you're just gonna slip stitch across, just coming across, so just going in, pulling it through and through, and that's slip stitching, and then you just go right into the corner of the chain 1 space, and now you're ready to begin. So to begin the next round, there's gonna be 2 different rounds. One is gonna be a single crochet chain round, and the other one's a double crochet chain round, or double crochet round. So this one is the single crochet round. So you're gonna chain up 1 and single crochet into the same space, and then chain 3. 1, 2, and 3, and come back into that same space and single crochet once again. So every corner when it's in this round will always have 1 single crochet, chain 3, 1 single crochet. Carrying on, you want to chain 3, so 1, 2 and 3, and then just jump over to the next corner, single crochet, chain 3 and single crochet. Okay, so you'll see that there's a chain 3 gap right here, so you know you're on the right track. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go to the next corner. So just pull it apart with your fingers if you can't see it, no big deal, and then chain 3, coming back into the same corner to finish that corner, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then coming into the next corner, single crochet, chain 3, just like so. So we got one more side to do yet, so chain 3, and because of the way that you started, you're just gonna slip stitch the beginning single crochet. Okay, so this round that you just did is the foundation round of doing your double crochets whenever you go to do the double crochet. So you'll notice that there's all these chain spaces around when you go to finish this round. Let's move along to your next round to go up. So to move up to the next round, all you just have to do is see this chain space right here, just insert the hook and pull through and through. That will slip stitch you to get to there, and then you're gonna start another corner. So now you're gonna work on the double crochet round. So you're gonna chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and you are going to double crochet 2 more times into that same space. That's 1/2 of a corner. And then remember how I said whenever you have double crochets and it's in a corner, it's only gonna be chain 1 only, and then double crochets 3 times back into the same space. So whenever you have a corner, that's what exactly you're gonna do. 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. So now you're not gonna chain 1 at all. You're just gonna look for this next chain 3 space and immediately put in 3 double crochets. So anytime there's chain spaces like that along the edge, it's just gonna automatically be 3 double crochets. You will notice that they automatically look like they split apart from each other because of the chain underneath. Now the next one happens to be a corner. So remember what it is. It's 3 double crochet, just like that, and then it's chain 1 and then 3 double crochets into that same space again to turn the corner. So now you're gonna work along the side. So just pull it up if you can't see it, and it'll be 3 double crochets into there. Why is it 3 double crochet, you're wondering? Well, you chain 3 when you did that, so the 3 double crochets equals the same amount of stitches. The next one happens to be your next corner, so it'll be 3 double crochet, and then followed by chain 1 and 3 double crochet. Okay, then coming back in, the next one is a chain 3 space, so there's gonna be 3 double crochet there. So you'll see the difference of a regular granny compared to something like this is that there's no chain 1 spaces between any of these groups of 3. That's the big difference between this square and a typical granny. So this is the corner, so there's 3 double crochet, chain 1 and 3 double crochet. So the chain 1 only exists on the corner, on the very corner, not between all the groups of 3 along the sides. So okay, and then carrying along, this is your last side. There'll be 3 double crochets, so 1, 2 and 3, and then just join it to the top of the beginning chain 3 that you started with, like so. Okay, so that's how you get around, and we're gonna do one more row if it's the lovey, and if you have the blanket size, it's gonna be 3 more rows from this point. So let's move along to the next round. So in the lovey size, the very first square that you're gonna do is gonna be all the way around from what I'm about to show you. However, if you're doing the other size of the blanket and or you're attaching to another square at the same time, this round will change. But you have to do the first one just like what I'm about to show you first before that you can carry on and do the rest of your blanket anyway. So right now you're on the top of the beginning double crochet. You need to get to this space over here. So you're just gonna slip stitch along the 2 double crochets that are in your way, plus slip stitch into the corner, and then begin. So it's gonna be chain 1, single crochet into the same one, and 1, 2, 3, you already know how to do this, and come back in and single crochet. So you're creating those spaces again like you needed. So 1, 2, 3. Now this time, see how there's double crochets? See how there's a bit of a space between the groups of 3? That's exactly where you want to play with a single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and then coming into the next space. Do you see that? And then 1, 2, 3, and then coming into the corner. Corners always be the same, single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet. So the very first time you ever do one of these when you're not attaching to a neighbor is that you'll go all the way around doing the same thing. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and then this is the corner, and carrying on. So if this is the blanket size, all you just need to do is 2 more extra rounds from this point before you start attaching to your neighbor, or before you start actually finishing off one of the very first block that I'm about to show you. Okay, so I'm doing the first block as if it's not attaching to anything, because it's not at this point, because you gotta have somewhere to start. So this is your very starting block. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, and then you just join it to the very beginning single crochet. So this is how you complete the very first block of the lovey, and then you can fasten off at this point, and then you're ready to go and do another block. However, this round that we just did will now change depending on what you're attaching to in all future blocks that you're about to do. So this is where you would stop. The first one is like this, and then the rest of them will join as you go. So if you're carrying along with me in the blanket, just stay with me and I'll take you to the next 2 rounds, and then I'll show you how to attach what we need to. For those carrying up into the blanket size, you're just going to carry on and slip stitch to the very first chain space here, right into the corner, and then you're gonna chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and you're going to double crochet 2 more times. So that chain 3 plus the other 2 counts as 3. Chain 1 as normal, and then coming back in, you're gonna double crochet again 3 times. And then you're just gonna move along just like you did before. So in every chain 3 space there's gonna be 3 double crochets. Just like that. So we're gonna do that, and what are we gonna do in the corners? Do you remember? It's gonna be 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the corners. So don't forget to do that. You can do any size blanket using the same concept. It will not buckle on you. It will stay nice and flat. So if you want your squares to be even bigger, you just carry on using the same concept that I'm showing you, and you to get bigger, and the joining as you go method is still the same regardless. So it becomes very versatile in that pattern. So chain 1 and 3 into the same, and I'm gonna carry on all the way around just like so. Okay, so again 3 double crochets in each of the chain spaces, corners, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. Please do that all the way around. So as you get all the way back around, you just join to the top of the chain 3 just like so. So now we're gonna carry on. So in this blanket size we have to do 1 more round, so we're just gonna slip stitch like you had before in the top of the first 2 to get yourself to the chain space. Go right into the chain space, and then we're going to carry on. So for the blanket, very much like it is the lovey, the final round of the first block has to be done completely. So chain up 1, 1 single crochet into that one, chain up 3. You already know how to do this. You're just gonna go completely around, and then you're gonna fasten off. So chain 3, and then go into these spaces that exist in the groups of 3. Okay, so chain 3 and single crochet with the space, 1, 2, 3, and carry on in the same manner. So what are you gonna do in the corners? If you remember, the corners are always gonna be the same whenever it's on this round, regardless of the size. It'll be a single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet. So carry on doing that all the way around, and then you're gonna fasten off. If this is your very first block, you need to do this all the way around, because all of the ones now from this point are gonna start attaching to each other, and I'll show you how that's done. So I'll see you at the end of this round, and then we're gonna go to learn how to attach. So I'm just attaching now to the very first single crochet that I started with, and now I fasten off and weave in my ends, and that's it. So when you look at the size compared to the Lovey size, you'll see that it is much different, just like you see here, and it's just a really kind of a cool idea. So for an extra 2 rounds, look at the size difference that you get, and of course you could have made this much bigger, and you can even make one whole afghan just like that. Just continuing to go, it'll stay continued flat. So what I'm gonna do at this point is that we're gonna reverse now back to the Lovey in order to come back, and I'm gonna show you how to attach, because the attachment is actually done on this last round that you just did with these chain 3 spaces. Regardless of the size, okay, you're gonna attach always in that same rotation. So let's begin, and I'm gonna show you how to attach these things together, and I'm gonna show you with using the Lovey as an example, and then we're gonna cover the border after that. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna learn how to attach, and the attaching has to be done when it's in these chain 3 rounds, just like so. So what we have to do for the very first one, that we have to go all the way around and fasten off and have that as our staple in order to begin. So one of these rounds has to be done. So if you look at this really carefully, this was the original that I had started with, and this one is attached here. I can tell that because the yarn is wrapped around that strand of right here, these chain 3 spaces. Do you see that? So that's how I know which one is starting and which one's not. So if you use the same kind of colors, then it really is quite invisible in order to do so, and it actually looks pretty fabulous at the same time. But we have to consider what we're gonna do, and what we need to do is start attaching, and let me give you some tips when it comes to attaching. When you're going to do the attachment, what you have to think about is that you're gonna have the first one that starts off, and we're gonna finish this off and just weave in the ends, and this becomes your staple. So anything further from this point forward is that we have to join. And so what we have to do is that before we do the same round that you see on the very last one here, this is one that hasn't had that done yet, is that we want to attach to the neighbor when we are right beside that neighbor, and then just carry on the rest of it. So this other example that I have here is an example of that. So I had this one done here, and then this one attached as I went around this layer here, and then it went back around, so you can see that it goes. So whenever I go and attach another one to it, all I can just do is that I can just come around and start attaching. The only thing that it gets complicated is that when you start attaching 2 at the same time, not a big deal. You never want to do 3 or 4 at the same time. It gets really difficult in order to do that, and I think strongly recommend you don't. So when you go to attach these together, you can just continue to attach them down in a row, and then you can come up and then come up and do the next row, and then so on. Just make sure that you try not to attach more than 2 sides at one time. So let's come back to our project, and let's show you what to do. So if this was the original and I fastened off and I woven in my ends, then this is what I'd be ending up with. But let's say, for example, I want to attach this to an existing one. I'm gonna go right back to the very beginning of that last round that I was about to do. Okay, and here's where I'm gonna sit. So I can attach it at any point, just like so. So I'm gonna attach it right here, and it's still one side, and the same thing existed here. This is already just done just for your convenience. So when I go to start this round, it's gonna be like I had before, and I want to slip stitch across till I get to the chain 1 space. So I never ever want to attach on the first side of the block, and I'm gonna chain up 1 and single crochet in, and I'm gonna just carry on is it what I already know. So chain 3, and then coming in, single crochet, and you already know what you're doing with this stuff, okay, at this point. So my goal is that whenever I'm ready to attach, I just have to consider the side that I'm about to do it on. I'd recommend doing it on side number 2. It just is a lot easier. So I'm gonna stop here. So I have not finished this corner here. So what I want to do is that whenever we did a corner, if you remember, is that there's always chain 3 spaces, okay, just like here. So what we have to do is we have to consider that, and there's always chain 3 spaces whenever we did all of these sections right here. So now to attach, I just have to consider the chain 3 spaces that are in the sides. Okay, so there's chain 3 spaces all around, including the corners. So I have to compensate for the joining to join it as I go. So instead of chaining 3 in and single crocheting back into this space, I want to chain 1 only, and I want to come up from the underside, okay, so right into the same chain 3 space in the same corner of the next one, and I want to pull through, and then I'm gonna pull through 2. So it's a single crochet around that one on the other one, and then I want to chain 1 and then come back down into the space that I was currently in. And so that just wrapped it around and attached it together. So as I move across, see that there's chain 3 spaces on this one, but there's not here. So I'm creating the chain 3 spaces here as I go. So I'm gonna chain up 1, and then I'm gonna go to the next chain 3 space, pull through and single crochet it together, chain 1, and then I'm gonna come back and go into this chain, this space right here. This is just a space, and single crochet. So the only difference is instead of just chaining 3 and jumping over, I'm chaining 1, I'm going into the next space available, pulling it through to single crochet it, chain 1, and then I come back. Okay, so chain 1, go to the next chain space, pull through, single crochet it, and come back. So this is the very corner. So you gotta remember that there's a corner on this one, and the corner is not yet done here. So I chain up 1, and then I go into the corner, pull through, single crochet it together, chain 1, and come back in. So now I've officially gone around and attached it as I went. Now the other 2 sides here, there's nothing there. So I'm just gonna carry on with chain 3 and going into the space as you already know, and this will save you time from absolutely using your darning needle to sew these together. So you're single crocheting them together using a flat braid join. It's really quite an easy thing, and I really like this kind of idea for this instead of pulling out that darning needle. So the only time you really want to use that darning needle is to hide in your loose ends if you have to. And I really strongly recommend it, especially if it's for babies. Okay, and then chain 3. And then coming into that last one, it going right into the single crochet, and then that's it. I'm going to show you quickly on how to weave these off so that you have no yarn strands. So just trim your yarn and then just pull it through and put that yarn onto a darning needle. So you can see that they're all attached now. So if you're attaching only one side, that's how you do it. But the next when I come back, I'm gonna show you how to do 2 sides. So put this into a darning needle and just turn it over and get the back side of the project and just glide the yarn through the stitch work and pull once through. You're gonna go back again for twice and then back again for 3 times. Okay, so do that 3 times real quick and then it's done, and then you don't have to worry about any yarn tails falling out of your work. So the next part of this tutorial, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna show you how to attach to 2 sides at one time, and that's gonna be the remaining of that, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the border. So if this is the baby blanket size, all the difference is that these squares will be bigger, but the attachment section is still the same. So we're now on the next block. Even if it was the baby blanket size, it doesn't matter. It just means that the block is bigger, and you're just gonna slip stitch then to the first corner. So never attach on the first side. Okay, so leave that completely open. So chain up 1 single crochet into that one, and then chain up 3. You only want to attach it to 2 sides at one time, but never on the first time you're going out. So chain 3 and then single crochet into the next space. Okay, chain and single crochet, chain 3, and coming into the corner. So because we have to attach 2 sides at one time, this section and this section have to come together. So in order to do that, we're gonna chain up 1, and then we just go to the same corner on the next one here, coming up, pull through, single crochet it together, chain 1, and come back. Okay, so then chain 1, go to the next chain space on the next side, single crochet it, chain 1, and come back to the next space right here. Okay, so go to chain 1 and then go to the next space. I'm automatically doing it because I've been doing practice without saying anything. So here we go. I'm coming back into the forward, chain 1, going back into the next one, and then come back into the corner. So you got to watch these corners most of all. So the corner has to attach to this diagonal one across. If you attach it to here or here, you'll be left with a hole. So just chain 1 and going right into the diagonal one right across, pull through. Sorry, it should be a single crochet, chain 1, and then coming back in just like so, and then you're going to carry on and continue to attach here. So chain 1, okay, attach, chain 1, so you're attaching with a single crochet technique, and then chain 1, attach, come back, chain 1, single crochet, and then come back, and don't forget you still have a corner to do. So the corner is just like it was before, so chain up 1, going into the corner space, and then coming back. So all you can see now is that you've just attached that square, so it's part of your project, and then you just carry on. There's nothing more to attach to, and you're just gonna work your way across like you normally would have, as if there was nothing there. So what I've just done quickly is I've run out of yarn, so I'll come back and I'll have that completely done for you, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the border from that point. So this is how you do the lovey size as well as the baby blanket for joining it in the center, just like that. So just coming up all the way back around like you already know, and then you're just gonna slip stitch it to the beginning single crochet, and you're done. So you just got to remember that the last round that you ever do is that it's gonna be the one that is attaching to its neighbor when you go to do so. So if you do all your squares and do this final round, how are you gonna attach it, right? So you gotta think ahead when you go to do that. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna move on in today's tutorial. If you're doing the baby blanket, you're obviously gonna do a lot more squares than this. You just keep attaching as what you've just learned, and then if you're doing the lovey size, this is all you need to do for the center. Now the border can be done whether it's rectangular or square, doesn't matter. The only difference is that we have to think about where they're attaching and do something a little special, and that doesn't matter on how many there is, and we're gonna do that the same each and every time. So let's get rid of our loose ends and let's begin the border. So regardless if you're doing the lovey or you're doing the baby blanket, the border is always gonna start the same no matter what size. It can be rectangle or square, doesn't matter, because the only trick is that you have to pay attention to how you handle where they're being joined together. So we're gonna start off in the corner here, and see how that we have the chains as the outside. Well, what do you think the next row is gonna be, or the next round? It'll be these double crochets, right? So you're just gonna use your next color that you want to play with. I'm just using scrap yarn because Lord knows I have enough of it, and I'm just gonna go into any corner. So just choose any corner of your main big square at this point, and then just attach and then chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a double crochet, and you're gonna double crochet 2 more times, and you already know how to do this. Okay, so this is a corner, so you're gonna chain up 1, and then again you're going to put in 3 double crochet. So that'll be the same each and every time. So you already know what you're doing. The only difference is that you're gonna work over top of other existing squares. So you're gonna work your way across, and I'm gonna put the straggler in behind. So in the next chain 3 space, it's gonna be 3 double crochets. So the trick to this round, regardless if it's square or rectangle, is how to handle the gapping space in between the squares. So let me get there. So I'm just putting 3 double crochets into each. The colors that I'm using today are just subjective to using scrap. There's no rhyme or reason for it, and you can obviously use what works for you. So we have to maintain this pattern. The problem is that we have right now that these 2 squares come together. So what we have to do is that we have to put 2 double crochets over into this space, okay, the corner space. So 1 and 2, and then we have to put 2 into the other one over here, okay, and we're gonna put 2, and it's gonna look like the 2 are split from each other. But in the future, what I want you to do is that when you see groups of 3, this group of 4 should be treated as if it's 3, and then we carry on. So just go back into the chain 3 space, the next one, and put in 3. And so anytime you get a hiccup right in the middle of where they're joining, it's always gonna be 2 one side, 2 on the other. Okay, no big deal, right? So you carry on and you move across your blanket or your lovey just like this. So do you remember how to handle your corners? 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet every time you hit a corner. So I'm on the corner now. So there's 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. Okay, so then you just turn it and then you keep on moving. So again, when you hit them and they're in this split here, there's gonna be 2 on one side, 2 on the other, and the others are just gonna have 3 just like you see. So please do that all the way around. So when you get all the way back around, then you just slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain number 3. So when you look at it from an outside perspective like this, you'll see that each one of where they joined, there was 2 on each side, just like you see. Okay, so that's one thing that you have to pay attention to right on the hop. The rest of this particular afghan or lovey is identical to what you already know on how to build these other squares. You've now just created the foundation. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you how to do the next round, which is the same as the chain 3 round, because the round after that I'm going to show you how to do the very border. So if you look at really carefully here, you're going to notice that there is going to be a total of 4 of these double crochet rounds added to it. Okay, so if you look at the photograph like you see, okay, so this white would then be the green that I just did, okay, and then it will switch over and then do gray and then this color and so on and so on. So what I want to do is that I want to pay attention to the final rotation as we go around. So you want to change your colors if you want to do that. You don't have to, and if you don't want to change your colors, just again slip stitch to the beginning of the next rotation. Okay, so just moving yourself over in order to do that. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to show you just the chaining 3 once again around, and then after that then the border works on that round. So it's kind of an easy way to cheat the system without having to do the whole thing, just to show you how it's done. So I'm going to grab up my next color that I'm going to play with, and I'm going to bring back this fuchsia color, and I'm going to attach it right into a corner space. Okay, so go right into a corner, just chain 1 space, and it's like what I already know. So chain 1 and then single crochet in and then chain 3 and then coming back in. So you're creating the foundation to let the next round grow for you. So chain 3, go into the next space and then chain 3. So you'll notice that the final round is a picot round, and it's based on this round and the next round being the same color. Okay, so you want to be consistent with that. So I'm dragging you along, and right now you're about to be in the middle. Remember what I said, these 4 have to become like they're treated like 3. So chain only 3 and then just go into the next space right over here. So skip right over all 4 of them, go into the next space, okay, and then continue along. So it's a way of cheating the system in order to get your blanket to lay down properly on the corners, and carry on just like you already know. Do you remember what to do in the corners? You should by at this point. It's single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. So here's the corner. So single, chain 3 and single, like so. So I'm gonna go all the way around with that. Just pay attention to where they're joined, and then just make sure you capture that right, and then we'll carry on from that point, and I'll show you how to do the last round, and I'll explain a little bit more on how to grow this bigger if you haven't already picked up on that. So the trick to making this particular technique look really fabulous is that you will change the color then for the next one, so that these become dots of color all the way around. That's what makes Jeannie's afghan looks really amazing for that point. But if you don't like that and you want to carry it in the same color, you'll just have really kind of a neat look as well. But the dotting of color is actually really quite desirable. So how do you continue then the next rounds? Just like what you already know, you're going to slip stitch then to the corner, chain up 3, counts as a double crochet, and then put 2 more in, chain 1, 3 more double crochets, and then each one of these chain 3 spaces are all gonna get 3 double crochets. Do not worry about this one that you skipped over just to fake it or make it right here. That you're just gonna go and treat it like it's equal all the way around. Again, corner, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. So in the next part of this, and you can do this for a number of rounds, and there's a total of 4 of these rounds that go all the way around of the double crochets, and then there's a chain space like this, and then the border. So in the next part of this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to do the border, and it's based on the same color. So whenever you do the final one, make this round plus the border round exactly the same color to make it really look awesome in the end. So let's review how to do the border round. The border round is the same color in Jeannie's pattern. Again, that's your own creativity. So what we have to do is that we have to think about where we are finishing with this, and we are going to work on the chain rounds just like you see here. So let's begin, and we are going to slip stitch then to the starting here, okay, right into the chain 3 space. You're gonna chain up 1 and 3 double crochets, sorry, one single crochet, sorry, chain 3 and 1 single crochet back in, just like that. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to create what is called picots all the way around. So in the next single crochet, just like you see here, we're going to single crochet, and then we're gonna chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we come in and we insert our hook into the beginning, okay, and then we pull through and through just like this, and in this space right here we're going to put in 2 single crochets, so 1 and 2. So these picots sit right on top of these other ones. Let me just zoom in and show you that again. So to begin again, you're gonna single crochet into the next single crochet and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we're gonna come in right to the start. Do you see how there's 2 strands leading in? Just go right behind those 2. Okay, right behind those 2. Pull through that one and the original. That's a picot, and then just immediately 2 single crochets into the next chain 3 space like that. So single crochet in the next single crochet and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and then picot. So come right into there. Once you get used to this, this goes pretty quick, so pull through and then 2 single crochets in the next chain 3 space. So single crochet in the next one and then chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 and then just going in, sliding in, pull through and then 2 single crochets in the next chain 3 space. So that's all you're just gonna do, and then when you get to the next corner, what are you gonna do? 1 single crochet, chain 3, 1 single crochet, and so you end up with a really kind of a cool border as you go all the way around, and that's exactly how you do the lovey or the modern baby blanket. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.